Today we're talking about how to stay positive when you're experiencing pain and disease. Let's get started. So over the years, I have shared a lot about my own health struggles, which started all the way back when I was 8 years old. And I get asked regularly how I stay positive in the midst of diagnoses and chronic pain and confusion and frustration in the midst of all of these medical issues. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today in case you're at the same point. So we're going to talk about 4 things that help me to stay positive in the midst of pain and disease. The first thing that I want to say is that I know this isn't easy. I am not here to gloss over any kind of pain or frustration or loneliness or sadness that you are feeling. I understand what it takes to live in a body that is confusing and to live with pain and flares that come and go. So all of these things are here simply to help along the journey so that you can feel a little more hope and a little more positivity as you go. So the first thing that I do to help me stay positive might be the hardest, and that is to remember that it is a choice. It's actually my choice. It is not my choice to have endometriosis. It's not my choice to have been through the health struggles that I've been through. It's not my choice to have recurring pain, but it's my choice how I respond to those. After my major surgery, this was my second major surgery about 6 years ago, I woke up from surgery and was told I had a frozen pelvis, that we might not be able to have the second baby that we had been trying desperately to have. IVF was my only choice, and while they were inside, they found a growth on my liver and they were referring me to an oncologist for further testing. Needless to say, for the next 2 weeks, I went down a very dark rabbit hole of wondering what was wrong with me, what the tests were going to show. I was searching Dr. Google for every possible diagnosis. Nothing was good, and I couldn't find anything positive in the midst of any of that. I was awake all night long, feeling alone, wondering what was going to happen, and I couldn't find hope in the next step. It was a really hard place to be, and I started to come out of it and realize that those kind of things were a choice that I could make. I couldn't choose what was going on in my body, but I could choose how I reacted to it. And so each day I try to choose something positive, and it is truly a muscle that I have to work. Just like working my arms and my legs, I have to work this muscle to choose positivity in order to strengthen it. And each time I do, it becomes a little bit easier. But honestly, my first tip is to remember that you don't maybe have a choice in what your body is doing right now, but you do have a choice in how you react to it. My second tip for staying positive is to be an advocate and be an active participant in your body and in your health. So don't let yourself simply be a diagnosis, and don't put those labels on yourself. Be an active participant. Ask questions, get knowledge, research, talk to doctors, do trial and error actually on yourself and your own body with exercise and movement and eating. Write things down. How do you respond? How did you not respond? How does this time of the day feel? Once you start to get knowledge and take that information in for yourself, you actually will start to feel more empowered, because you'll realize there are choices you can make to help you feel better. There are things that you can do. There are questions you can ask. So instead of always just being told what to do or what to expect, I find it helps me actually to stay positive when I take some ownership over that and take some of that control back. And for me, that includes getting information, being informed, being an advocate for myself, and truly being a part of my own healthcare process. The third tip, and this is something that I have as a mantra every single day, is to focus on what you can do versus what you cannot do. So from the moment I woke up from my first surgery in 2005 and was told I had endometriosis, I was told what I couldn't do. I probably couldn't have kids. I couldn't be cured. It just had to be managed. It wouldn't go away. All of these things that I couldn't do. I went to Google, same thing. I found all the scary stories. When I had a prolapse, same thing. all the scary stories about what I couldn't do, how I couldn't move, how I couldn't work out, how I couldn't run. I didn't want to focus on that. It was too easy to focus on what I couldn't do because I knew that there were things I could do, and that's where I wanted to put my focus. So I decided to put anything I couldn't do on a little list over to the side, and I started to make a different list of what I could do. All the exercises, all the workouts, all the movement, all the things that I wanted to do that I could do, I made a list over here, and that list got bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I focus on that. Yes, there are times that I might be scrolling social media and I see someone running a half marathon who've had 3 kids. They look so happy and healthy doing it. And for a moment, I'm triggered. For a moment, I think, why can't I do that? Like, what's so broken about me that I can't do that? But then I let it go because I have my list of what I can do. Oh yeah, okay, maybe I can't run a half marathon, but you know what? That's okay. I'm still okay in life. I'm gonna be okay. Look at all the stuff I can do. I can walk around the lake with my kids. I can do Pilates. I can lift weights at the gym. I can go try this class. I can surf when we go to Hawaii. This is what I can do that brings me joy. So that is what I focus on. I focus on what I can do, and I never focus on what I can't do. My final tip for staying positive in the midst of pain and disease is something that is going to sound very cliche, and I'm sorry to say it, except that it's true. I focus on something I'm grateful for, and I know that sounds very much like an umbrella Mary Poppins term, but to me it's very deep and it's very nuanced. I find that I can say, I'm thankful that I can get out of the car and walk to the house. I'm thankful I can get out of bed and walk to the bathroom. I'm thankful I can get on and off the floor. I have many clients who can't do those things, and you might even be one of them. So I am thankful for what I know my body can do, and I encourage you to find something that you might be able to do as well that you can be thankful for. And then with that, I also encourage you to find one single guidepost that you can thank your body for giving you. For me, it's my kids. I was told I might never be able to have kids, and I have 2. I was even told with our second, after 3 years of infertility, 2 rounds of IVF, and being told we had a 10% chance. I have both of my babies here with me. I could never, ever stay mad at this body that gave me my kids. And that is the guidepost I come back to in my darkest moments, when the flares come, when I'm in pain again, when I can't do what I want to do. I remember that. I need to give her some grace, and I need to give her some patience. She's not trying to fight me in this world. She's just doing what she can do to survive. I need to help her. And I need to thank her for that, for giving me that. And I know that I am so lucky to have that, because not everyone does. So I encourage you to find just one thing that can be your guidepost as well. One thing that in the dark times you can just remember and thank your body for giving you, whether it's today or 10 years ago or 20 years ago, whatever it is. Have that memory that you can come back to like a shining star when the moments are hard. I know that it is not always easy to be living in the body that we have. I know it can be confusing, it can be lonely, it can be painful. We might not know the next steps. I also know that choosing to be positive has made a big difference in how I move forward and how I appreciate this body, how I feel safe in this body, and how I move and stay strong and stay present in this body. Thank you for being here. If you want more details about all of this information, I have a podcast episode just about the same thing, and I'll put the details below. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.